And this whole business with aliens in the ocean, we already knew that. Have you seen fish?
Listen, have you some of those creatures that they show us pictures of that are like, they look like aliens. Like, they look like the aliens that we see in movies. What are those things?
Welcome to Don't Quit Your Day Job, where three friends run their mouths on the internet. Let's get started.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to Don't Quit Your Day Job, our podcast.
Hello.
How's everyone doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good.
Great.
I'm doing fabulous. So what's everybody been up to this week? Or last week?
Well, I had spring break last week, so I got to chill out quite a bit. And then Christina and I this weekend went to Kansas City with some of our younger sisters and a brother-in-law. And we went and saw Crime Junkie live in Kansas City. It was pretty amazing.
It was so fun.
They were so good live. I wasn't sure what to expect going in because I've never been to like a podcast live event like that. And I will say that I was pleasantly surprised. Like, they kept us engaged. Like, a whole arena full of people were like captivated. So they did a really good job.
Yeah, no, I was also pleasantly surprised. And so I really enjoyed our time at Crime Junkie. And we also went, because I have a thing where every city I visit, I go to an independent bookstore. And we went to Under the Cover Book. She's wearing the merch today. It's a romance-only bookstore. It's so cute. I got a book. I got a sticker. I got a bookmark. She got the shirt. But we've got to go back sometime because there are so many more independent bookstores in Kansas City. Like, there are so many more in Casey and its surrounding areas. We got to go do a book weekend in that city. There's one that's half plants, half bookstore we didn't get to visit.
That sounds like our favorite used bookstore in Conway.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was wonderful. It was majestic. So it was a great time. We had a wonderful time. What about you, Julia? What'd you do this weekend?
You know, Jack and I had a date day on Saturday, and that was fun. We'd really just kind of had a chill day. We went to Chewy's, the chain, but out of Austin. He'd never been there before. I love some Tex-Mex food. So we went there, and then we came back and watched. He never watches our podcasts alone. He waits until and makes me watch it with him. So we watched.
Oh my gosh, he really is.
Podcast.
That's
so cute. Our number one fan. That's so cute. Shout out to Jack.
Our little sister, Katie, sent us a snap last, I think it was like Wednesday night. And it was a picture of her, like, she's sitting on a couch, so you can't see her, but you can see our mom and our dad in their living room, and we're up on the TV, and they're just sitting there watching us all together in the living room. It's so cute. I'm going to post a picture on here.
My dad watches every episode, and I'm like, that's so sweet. Like, he barely does anything anymore. But like, when I posted my solo video last week, he was the first comment, and it was just like a quick little cooking, because it was a cooking video, and it was like a quick little crock pot liners help with cleanup, and like, you know, because he used to do all the cooking, and so like, I'm like, oh, you're so cute. And like so I say in the video for all of our listeners, I have an essential tremor, so I shake a little bit, but my dad has one too, and he also has MS. But so my tremor is called a familial tremor because it runs in my family. But his is more severe now. So like, typing on a keyboard or like a phone is very challenging for him. So the fact that he commented, I was like, oh my gosh, my daddy loves me.
Oh my gosh, all of our number one fans. Oh my gosh, I love them all so much.
Well, shall we get into the weird and wonderful? I think that you guys went to Eureka Springs, which is kind of the home of some weird and wonderful here in Arkansas.
I went to Eureka Springs recently. Yeah. Tina's been there, but recently I went. We went to the Crescent Hotel, which is a mini an episode of any kind of ghost adventure situation to be had. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Inspiration for today's topic, which is like cryptids, aliens, and conspiracy theories in pop culture. My inspiration for today's episode came from just doing a quick search and finding that the Ozark Mountain UFO Conference is going to be held on April 11th through 13th in Eureka Springs. And the...
Might have to go.
And the other festival that inspired this was the Fouke Monster Festival. So Fouke, Arkansas is the home of the Boggy Creek Monster.
So where we're from, it said Fouke, not Folk. It said Fouke.
It could be. It could be. The Fouke Monster Festival.
Arkansas is super funny because, like, we're all not quite native Arkansans, but we've been here most of our lives. And Julia is a native Arkansan.
I am
and
native,
so the difference between
from
Central Arkansas and Southern Arkansas and the pronunciations of names is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? I say DeQueen, and you guys say
DeQueen. DeQueen.
That feels wrong. Okay, so how do I say this down? Fouke?
Fouke.
Okay, the Fouke Monster Festival, also known as the Boggy Creek Monster, is a legendary cryptid. It looks a lot like Bigfoot to me, personally, from my research, but is said to inhabit the swamps of Arkansas. The festival celebrates this mysterious creature and its impact on local folklore. It also acts as a fundraiser to raise funds for a scholarship for local high schoolers. So I thought that was cool.
That's really cool.
That's super cool.
The festival is in Fouke, Arkansas on April 25th and 26th in 2025. But it's an annual festival. There's no doubt that, cryptids and aliens and conspiracy theories have penetrated our culture. I mean, you think of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. You think of, that like introduced us to the idea of like creating life from the unknown. I mean, we think of even our cartoons, Scooby-Doo. I mean, how many monsters and ghosts and things were in Scooby-Doo? We think of the TV show Bones. We think of the X-Files. Like, even, movies, the Avatar and Signs, and, all the things.
Close Encounters.
Close Encounters. There's so much of it. So
I love
they've inspired countless, pop culture works. The National Treasure is one that I thought of as we were doing it for conspiracy theories, like following the maps and the government conspiracies. So I thought it would be fun to dig in. So we're going to start with cryptids and move on from there. But I first wanted to ask you, if you had to pick one conspiracy to be 100% real, which one would you choose?
So mine is that Keanu Reeves is immortal. So apparently he looks like Charlemagne and other people throughout history. And so there's this conspiracy theory that Keanu Reeves is in fact immortal. And that in order to be as kind as he is, you have to have lived a very, very long time. And so that's kind of like the philosophy. And if I could choose one to be real, it'd be that Keanu Reeves is in fact a vampire immortal. That's mine.
A vampire. Whoa.
Does he drink blood supplement? Because if he's so nice,
I don't know. He's just immortal. I don't know that. Like, I think of all immortal creatures as vampires, so he may not be a vampire, but that's what I think of when I think of like an immortal creature that is humanoid. What about you, Stephanie? What's yours?
I would say my favorite one, or one that I would like to be real, is the one. There's several different actors, but the ones where they you see famous people and they see them in old timey pictures. And so they're the conspiracy theory is that they're time travelers.
Oh, like Daniel Radcliffe. Yes. Have you seen the ones of him?
Yeah. And I think Benedict Cumberbatch is one. And there's a couple of other actors that they either really are good at doctoring photos, which is completely possible. Or they just have some, okay, I know I'm spiraling a little bit, but we have a finite amount of like DNA combinations, so it tracks that like you have a duplicate somewhere. So why not in the 1700s? You know?
Yeah. I mean, like it could be ancestors, like, and like DNA combinations in ancestry down the line too. You just never know. Like, I mean, history is weird. People are weird.
Or
The
they're
world is
really
weird.
there and they're
Really time travelers.
Or
they're
they're
time
really time
travelers.
travelers.
I wish they had brought better news if they were time travelers, but
Right?
instead of becoming actors. But
maybe Daniel Radcliffe took the time turner.
Maybe Daniel Radcliffe took the time turner.
Conspiracy theories starting right here.
He for sure took it.
All right, so we're going to go back to the Fouke Monster a little bit. It gained popularity or widespread attention with the release of a 1972 film, The Legend of Boggy Creek. It's a docudrama style film that combined interviews with locals and reenactments of alleged encounters. And it created a cult classic that brought a national spotlight to the Boggy Creek Monster and the Fouke Creek. I will say, it's a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't expect cinematography, like cinematic magic. But there's an episode of the weird, like, mysterious hunters, like, going to find this creature down in Fouke and interviewing the locals and things. The film's success not only popularized the monster, but inspired a wave of interest in cryptids and local legends kind of across the country. It kind of paved the way for other films and documentaries like Mothman, West Virginia.
Well, that's weird because I've seen the Mothman in Arkansas. So that's weird that he's in West Virginia. He travels because me and my sister-in-law Amy. Oh, yeah, he does. And he is the most terrifying creature of all times. And I've had an encounter with the Mothman with my sister-in-law. And it hit my car and left a dent. And its wingspan is massive. And it was huge, whatever it is that hit my car.
Are you sure it was a Mothman? Are you sure it wasn't an owl?
No, I'm positive. This thing was huge. Massive.
We don't have any large owls. Like, our biggest birds are golden eagles, sometimes bald eagles. That's our, like, biggest birds.
Like, bounces off the hood of the car, hits the top of the car, keeps going in the Ouachita Mountains. So definitely out in, like, creek country.
It is an Appalachian cryptid. So I feel like that fits its territory. Country. I mean, I know we're not Appalachia, but we are mountainous. So.
Yeah, it's true. It was back when my in-laws were living in the mountains. They don't do that anymore. They flatland people.
Listen, I don't do the creepy. I was driving like up by, what is that place? Yeah. Where the elk are. Boxley Valley, up through Boxley Valley. And from my grandma's down around Clarksville up to Springfield, I drive in the back roads. And one day, I swear to God, I felt like I was like in Super Mario Kart. I was dodging turtles. Yep. A beaver crossed the road in front of me. Elk crossed the road in front of me. The one area in Arkansas that has elk. An eagle flew down, like swooped in front of my car. I was like, this is not a real event. Like, this isn't happening. It did. It felt like it was dangerous. Like, there should have been a wildfire, but there was not. I don't know. Like, thank God. Like, we don't want wildfires, but still. No, maybe Bigfoot was out to get them, and they were all fleeing from Bigfoot.
I mean,
there you go, maybe.
You know what creeps me out about Bigfoot and being here in the Ozarks is that every other person in the middle of nowhere who has, this barely noticeable driveway or whatever, they have one of those metal Bigfoot silhouettes.
That's like 20 feet tall.
It'll scare me.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't scare me that it's Bigfoot. It scares me because I think a man's about to walk in front of me in my vehicle. Oh,
Yep.
it is a
Yes,
jump
because
scare.
some of them are like man-sized, like they're like 6 feet tall. Some of them are like 20 feet tall, but then some of them have like a reflector where the eyeball goes. And so, like, if you hit it just right with your light, it like reflects back at you. Why are you doing that to me? On these, like, when we when we rented that cabin a few years ago for our birthday, we rented that cabin out in the middle of nowhere.
Jasper, Arkansas.
Listen,
guys, if you want to get away from civilization in Arkansas, Jasper is a good place to go.
Yeah,
it takes you a solid 30 minutes to get back into town when you stop seeing just fields and woods.
Yeah, and very mountainy homes, mountain man level homes is what I was thinking.
I really kind of felt like we were like, you know, those stories about Appalachia where they're like, you heard a baby crying, no, you didn't. You heard a whistle, no, you didn't.
Yeah. And then on top of that, even if you don't have a cryptid and you don't have like a skinwalker trying to get you, the freaking pumas, those mountain cats out there.
Oh my gosh,
they sound like someone is crying. Like they sound like someone is just sobbing out in the middle of nowhere. And it is creepy. It is so creepy.
I could never live in the middle of the woods. It's just not for me. Like, it's got to be bulldozed. There's got to be other houses. I can't do it.
We've talked about getting land all together at some point, and we would have to have the right conditions.
It would have to be, they'd have to be close together for sure. Like, I can't. Houses would have to be where I can see other people's lights on. That be them rules. That be them rules there, partner.
My goodness. Okay, so some other regional cryptids other than the Mothman, who is a large winged creature with glowing red eyes associated with the Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. He's seen as a harbinger of doom. So, sorry, Christina. I mean, I guess it's been a while, so your doom may have passed now.
No, he was the harbinger of doom. He did in my car. That was doom. That was doom right there.
There's also the Jersey Devil, a creature with a long history of reported sightings dating back to the 18th century. He's described differently in various accounts, often a mix of animal features with like a horse-like head or dog-like features, deer antlers, a kangaroo body, and leathery wings. Fun fact.
That's the one I'm most familiar with.
The Jersey Devil?
Yeah, with the kangaroo body with the Jersey Devil? Leathery wings. Well, I listen to And That's Why We Drink, and the first half of that podcast is paranormal, so it's like ghosts and cryptids and stuff, and they do a wonderful job with cryptids. So they have covered the Mothman, they have covered the Jersey Devil, they have covered a lot of them. So yeah,
see, cryptids. This is out of my comfort zone, but I thought it was a fun stretch for myself to host this episode. But yeah, I thought a fun fact about the Jersey Devil, there is a roller coaster in the New Jersey Six Flags named the Jersey Devil, and their pro hockey team is named the Jersey Devils. So they have integrated it into their culture. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is in the southwest U.S., the Chupacabra.
That's the one I grew up with. Someone from the Southwest U.S. That's the one I grew up with was Chupacabra.
Kind of my personal favorite. I don't know why. It's fun to say for one thing. First sightings of the Chupacabra occurred in Puerto Rico in 1995. Witnesses described it as a heavy creature, reptilian and alien-like, roughly the size of a small bear with a row of spines reaching from its neck to the base of its tail. But there are variations. In the southwestern United States, the Chupacabra is often described as more dog-like, which is the one that I'm more familiar with.
Me too.
Same.
Sightings have been reported as far north as Maine in the United States and as far south as Chile in South America. Even some sightings reported outside of the Americas in countries like Russia and the Philippines. So, Chupacabra runs deep. It's known for its vampiric behavior, attacking and drinking the blood of livestock, especially goats. The name Chupacabra comes from the Spanish words for chupar, meaning to suck, and cabra, meaning goat. So, what are our thoughts on suck goat?
The images that people have made of the Chupacabra is so disturbing. They creep me out. It's like a mole rat dog with like these tusks. They either go up or down.
A lot of times people say it's like a dog with mange or something that they like to make picture of that. Yeah. So I remember there was a big controversy around Clarksville, I think. I was in middle or high school. I had to be high school because I think the picture, and it was maybe on the news, but like somebody took a picture of this chupacabra caught in a barbed wire fence around like livestock somewhere around Clarksville. So this is like early 2000s probably. And it was like a big thing. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's a chupacabra! It's a chupacabra!" But then somebody, like, I think they did like I think they actually did like an autopsy or necropsy, whatever you do to an animal. But I think they determined that it was a canine.
They're all dead. But animals, it's a necropsy. Sorry.
Yeah.
If it's dead, no, you do it a lot.
I think they determined that it was a canine with mange, like a severe case of mange and malnourishment, which is very sad. But it was like a big deal and everybody was like getting a big stir out of it. So my next question to you guys is, what do you think the best and or worst depictions of cryptids in pop culture are? What are cringeworthy?
I love all of them. Like, none of them are cringeworthy to me. I think they're all great when they like take a shot at it. Oh. They took shots at it on Supernatural. They took shots at it on Bones. I love all of them when they go after them. They did it. They went after like the Mothman. No, they went after aliens on Bones. Is that who they went after on Bones?
I think so.
Yeah. I believe they had a body in Roswell.
Yeah,
so
it was like around Area 51.
Yeah, I think they're
Area 51 is in Nevada.
Oh, is
Nevada.
It?
Yeah.
I thought it was
around New Mexico.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Nevada.
Oh, but it's very close to Roswell, New Mexico. They're like bordering each other.
Listen, I don't know how they... But I do. We did twice. Took geography in college too. But no, Roswell is just the hotspot for aliens. Like they don't have a base there, like an army base.
I think that whatever brings them to Roswell, I love all of them. I love any show. Like I love it. Mm-hmm. You can go, Stephanie, and talk about your favorites in pop culture.
My favorites in pop culture, I really love Signs. I love that movie. I was obsessed with it in high school when it came out. Just the lore behind the aliens and like the way that they were depicted. I thought they did a good job. But then I really like the cheesy and like just kind of in your face, like my B stuff is great. I love the Men in Black series, all of them, even the new ones that you're like, y'all got no business still making these movies. Still love them. I can't remember the name of the movie, but they did one within the last 10 years about the Loch Ness Monster. And it was like, the way they did it, it was super cute. It was like I'm going to have to look it up so y'all know, but it's about a kid. He like finds a Loch Ness Monster and like saves him or something like that. And he like they go not on this adventure, but like he does like this whole thing. I think he calls them like the water horse or something. Like he doesn't actually call it the Loch Ness Monster, but that's what it is.
It's probably because that's trademarked somewhere.
I don't know how it could be. It's from so long ago. Yeah, it's called the water horse. 2007.
Like the scariest one to me, or one of the scariest ones. I don't do scary, so I'm a big old chicken. But I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons of Stranger Things, and the Demogorgon like freaked me out. Its whole face opened up.
Yeah.
And then it just
I'm such a scaredy cat. I couldn't get through any seasons of or Stranger Things. I couldn't even
Stranger Things.
No, the upside down world was enough for me to be like, and I'm out. That's okay.
I don't know how I did. We've already kind of started getting into aliens, but in 2021, the Pentagon did release a report about UFOs, although they did not call them unidentified flying objects. They had another term for them, but they were UFOs. Their main findings were national security concerns. For the report identified potential threats to national security and pilot safety. Out of 144 sightings investigated, only 1 could be explained. The rest remained unexplained. And no evidence of extraterrestrial technology. So the report did not find any evidence suggesting that they were alien or extraterrestrial. There was another report in March of 2024 that provided a historical record of UFO sightings. We're calling them UFOs. They call them UAPs. I'd have to look that up again and remember what that stood for. It basically just means UFOs. So most sightings were attributed to ordinary objects or phenomena, often due to misidentification. The report found that no empirical evidence supporting claims of reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology. And out of over 700 new cases, I think, since the 2021 report, 21 sightings remained unexplained and were of particular interest. Thoughts?
Oh, I think aliens are real.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, just like in Close Encounters, like that's a whole lot of wasted space if there's nothing else out there except for us. 2, there have been so many people come out, like pilots, retired military men have come out and said that they have 100% seen something that was extraterrestrial or reported on something that was extraterrestrial, and the government covered it up. So I have no doubt. And this whole business with aliens in the ocean, we already knew that. Have you seen fish?
Listen, have you some of those creatures that they show us pictures of that are like, they look like aliens. Like, they look like the aliens that we see in movies. What are those things? But
listen, I don't know if it was ever disproved, but did y'all ever see that video that they got on one of those deep sea dives of what they think is a merman? Or a mermaid?
No.
I don't know if it's been disproved or not or whatever, but they're like in one of those deep sea things, the little, ball like vehicles that they go into. And the camera, like something had hit them and they had like stopped, and the camera picked up something had like put its hand. It looked like a webbed hand, like up against the window, like it was pushing off to like swim away or something. It was super creepy. Like I said, if it wasn't real, they did a really good job of making me spiral.
And they totally could have, but yeah, no, things like that freak me out. I don't like it. But here's my view on aliens. We cannot be the only intelligent life in this vast universe. Like, we can't be the only planet that supports life. Like, I realize that we haven't found it yet. We might not be the smartest ones. Like, let's be real.
I'm thinking if we're the best that they came up with, they should take another crack if they're not real. That's what I'm thinking. They should take another crack and try again.
Give it another go.
We are a flawed evolution.
I think the aliens are real. I don't know that we'll ever, like, in our lifetime be able to, like, Star Trek would just be, like, the bet. Like, if we could just, like... Also, why on Star Trek did they go where no man has ever gone before? And yet, when they get there, men are there. Always people are there.
But are they men or are they males of a different species?
They're always
like
there.
We don't call Reese a man.
But didn't they have on Star Trek the first female captain or
the first
something?
black female.
Yeah.
Officer.
I believe in aliens more than I believe in time travel. And I believe in time travel. So.
Okay. Let's see. So we've established aliens are real. Okay.
Definitive.
Done. We solved it.
Decided.
They just need to ask us and we'll tell them yay or nay, you know?
Yeah.
Save them a lot of trouble.
In or out?
We are going to movies and TV that fueled conspiracy culture.
Okay.
My question to you is, are we living in a simulation? The Matrix, The Truman Show, WandaVision. What do you think?
The Truman Show was disturbing, way more than The Matrix. I don't know why that one specifically is so creepy, but it is. Hello, Darling is a new one. Have y'all watched that?
No, I have not watched it yet.
It's messed up.
They all freak me out, but I don't actually think we're living in a simulation. I have to believe I'm not living in a simulation to continue to successfully live. So that's where my belief comes from, not from any sort of definitive proof I have one way or the other.
I'm happy being with the red pill or the blue pill, whichever one it is, that doesn't take you out of the Matrix. I'm happy in the Matrix. I'm that person that wants to go back in once I know. That kind of thing.
WandaVision did kind of freak me out. The Truman Show kind of freaked me out. Like, just the idea that, like, you're going through and you're doing your day-to-day life and you think you have free will, and then finding out, sort of like even in the Good Place is sort of even like that. You're going along, you're doing your thing, and then suddenly you find out it's not real. It's not what you thought. So, yeah. I definitely think that we do have free will and that it's not a simulation, but I do know that there are rabbit holes and there are theories, and the birds aren't real thing is a big conspiracy. Okay. So do you guys know Howard Hughes? Like, he was the
airplane
film
pilot.
Producer, airplane, engineer, all the things. Business magnate.
Agoraphobia or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Like
he had OCD, eccentric behavior, reclusive lifestyle. Yes. All these things. Chronic pain from a near-fatal plane crash. Well, there was a movie about him called The Hoax, but it's about a guy who wrote a book about him. He wrote a bogus biography about Howard Hughes. So the movie is called The Hoax, 2006. And so in the early 1970s, author Clifford Irving, it's played by Richard Gere in this movie, with accomplished Richard Susskind, attempts to pull off one of the greatest media scams of the century. He writes a fake biography of the reclusive billionaire Howard Hughes, claiming that Hughes authorized it, and sells the book to publishing giant McGraw-Hill. So that was one of those things. So he eventually, right? That's like textbooks.
McGraw-Hill was like, mother trucker, you done did messed up.
We are in a S-word ton amount of trouble.
Yeah. So the screenplay is pretty different from the book, it says, but they hired a technical advisor for the film. But
how did he get found out? So
he had a previous book about an art forger named Elmer Dehory, ElmyrDehory, which had sold poorly, but he believed that it was going to be like his breakout work. And the publisher decided against releasing the book after a Life editor had just deemed it unsatisfactory. So he had worked so hard on this book, and then they decided not to publish it, or not. So
he wanted a big old stick it to the man moment.
So he was vacationing with his friend and this researcher, Richard Susskind, and got removed from his hotel in the middle of the night after Howard Hughes arrived and demanded that the entire building be evacuated. So he was reclusive, so he wanted the entire hotel to himself.
So Howard Hughes was alive when this guy wrote this book.
Yes, he was just reclusive. Yeah. He claimed
that's how he gets caught, probably.
He claimed that he had authored. Yeah, he claimed that he had authorized the book. This author claimed that Hughes had
I thought he would wait till Hughes died to release it and then be like, he authorized it before he died.
Maybe,
no.
Maybe that's why they believed him. Maybe that's why they believed him so readily, because they're like, surely he wouldn't lie about something Howard Hughes can refute in person.
Right? Yeah. So Irving told McGraw-Hill that Hughes had recruited him to help write his autobiography and showed forged handwritten notes from Hughes as proof. Handwriting experts confirmed the notes as genuine, and the publishers struck a $500,000 deal for the book. Irving believed that the reclusive Hughes was unlikely to sue him, and that his eccentricities could be used to deflect any denials of authenticity of the book. So that's what this movie is about.
What year was this?
It's not like it happened in 1970 or the early 1970s. The movie is from 2006 with Richard Gere. Again, not like a breakout, like a highly rated film. I haven't seen it. I want to. I found out about this when I was researching for this episode, and I was like, this is fascinating. Jack actually told me about it. I was like, I had no idea that this was a thing. But I've seen some other documentaries about Howard Hughes and about how like weird his life was. And I'm like, there's a lot of interesting fodder there.
$500,000 in 1979 is worth $2.2 million today.
Yeah. That's a lot of
money. Oh my gosh, they paid him $2 million to write a
So he did. So then he was on the hook. When he found out, he was on the hook for that advance because he got a big advance. Jack told me that there was an interview with Richard Gere where he said that that's one movie he wished more people would pay attention to because he feels like it's one of his best performances. So I haven't seen it, but I'm going to watch it. So the next conspiracy is about Elvis Presley.
And that he lives in Arkansas and that he's a preacher.
No.
Oh my gosh. Have y'all seen? You've got to look at those photos if you haven't seen them of this guy.
The only thing that makes me think it's not him is that the age is wrong. Like he's a little bit younger than Elvis.
Like he could be lying about his age. I'm just saying.
I mean,
like our
he
Nana
sounds like him.
Our Nana does not look like she's almost 80? 80?
No, she's over 80. Yeah.
She does not. She looks like she's closer to early 70s, if that. Okay, and she was alive when Elvis died. Sorry, but you know, if he's not, this man missed an opportunity to really hone in on getting
birthday parties and bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, or just drawing in the crowds to church.
He won't explicitly say if he is or isn't. And I feel like that's what Elvis would do, is he wouldn't explicitly say if he was or wasn't.
The theory that I found about Elvis that I thought was fascinating is that he faked his own death to escape the mafia.
Okay, but that theory could be very true because, like, you've got to link in Marilyn Monroe, John F. Kennedy. The mob was huge back then. Teamsters were massive back then. That's borderline unbelievable. That's what gives that so much credibility.
So
then he became a preacher in
conspiracy.
Right. Like, I guess, like, he already had, like, pretty strong ties to him. Because, like, didn't he die in the late 70s?
So, let me give you a little background, and and you guys can speculate.
Okay.
He died. I always heard he died on the toilet.
I was Elvis.
Did he die? Wouldn't you give yourself a better cover story? Come on. Like,
not if that's as far as they could get the body decoy. Listen, they had to bring it in through that window, and that's where he landed. You know what? He a big boy. We're gonna leave him there.
He was a big boy by that time. Too many peanut butter and nanner sandwiches. Too many of them. My mother-in-law loves Elvis, just like my grandmother does. And my mother-in-law bought his cookbook, and I was like, high cholesterol, high cholesterol, high cholesterol.
I mean, that's what happens when you're from
butter?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah,
you don't.
Mom's lots of butter.
What was that place we went to?
Marlowe's World's Famous Barbecue. Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
It's real close to Graceland. If you ever go to Memphis, super close. They have a pink limousine out front.
They'll pick you up in a pink limousine.
Mm-hmm. And Marlo is one of Elvis's ex-girlfriends, and she's the owner and founder of. And I think, where did we go? It was like the 50th anniversary of his death. Was that what it was, or his?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Elvis Week was about to happen. It was going to be Elvis Week, and they'll block off all of that. So, yeah. Graceland and Heartbreak Hotels.
Yeah. No doubt Elvis was a huge part of pop culture and still is. I mean, we just had the movie with Austin Butler a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. So, and what's his name? The really tall guy from the kissing booth? Not Tom Hanks.
Oh, Jacob Elordi.
Oh, Jacob Elordi.
Listen.
Did you have a stroke there?
He can be Elvis Presley any day of the week. He's so tall.
He's so hot.
He wasn't Elvis, though. Austin Butler was Elvis.
No,
Austin Butler
he
is
was
not
too.
Hot. But there was a different movie.
Priscilla.
He was in the Priscilla movie as Elvis.
Oh, and he plays Elvis.
I had no clue.
It follows Priscilla. It's like her side of the story. But
I've got to watch this. Now, this I would be fascinated about, because I find Priscilla to be a fascinating character, to be married to that level of like fame for the 50s, 60s, and stuff like that.
As
level
a child,
of fame,
as a child, like they started dating when she was 14, almost 15, something like that.
Yeah,
super
young.
Like as a child,
can we talk about how he was not a great guy? Like, I always heard that he used to, like, if she would like raise her eyebrows, he would smack her on the forehead and say, "You'll get wrinkles."
I mean, he was a guy from the 60s. I know that's not a good excuse, but their standard of appropriateness, like, don't marry a child if you don't want her to act like a child. That's how you solve that.
Okay.
That out there.
So our theory. So one of the biggest theories on why Presley may have faked his death was because he had to in order to escape the mafia. Gail Brewer Giorgio, the author of the 1988 best-selling book, Is Elvis Alive?, recalled in an interview with Time how she poured through thousands of FBI documents and came to the conclusion that Presley was an American hero who had to go into witness protection. She said, "Do I know if Elvis is alive today? No, I don't know. But I know Elvis didn't die on August 16th.
Okay.
So there you go. So she believes that the FBI enlisted Presley as an undercover agent in 1976 to help the agency infiltrate a criminal organization called the Fraternity. Conspiracy theories, remember this. I see your faces, your skepticism. It's healthy. Mm-hmm. We like skepticism.
Mm-hmm. Where was the fraternity supposed to be based
at? I don't necessarily know.
Okay.
But it was apparently made up of dozens of racketeers. Presley volunteered for this role, spurred by his love of America and respect for the FBI, according to Brewer Giorgio. She said that the agency had approached Presley because a member of the fraternity had apparent dealings with Presley over the sale of an airplane that the singer had. But when Presley was found to be a mole, he was put into the witness protection program citing what she said was evidence in FBI documents and interviews. But I will say that this has been debunked by several other Presley enthusiasts who have gone over the same publicly available interviews and reports. What are our thoughts? Do we think Presley was a secret FBI agent or FBI operative?
I just feel like he's way too high profile to be anything secretive. Like, even a mole. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it would be more likely that Elvis was like knew all this stuff because he was friends with Jimmy Hoffa and other people like Jimmy Hoffa, and he got caught by the FBI and they had something on Elvis Presley, and so then he struck a deal with them more than he did it for his love of America and was doing it the whole time. Like, not at all was he helping in illegal activity. Like, if you tell me, no, he was helping in illegal activities and now he's a pastor in Arkansas, fine, deal, see it, totally buy it. But that he knew the whole time? No, I'm with Stephanie. He's too high profile. You find somebody much less high profile. Unless the fraternity is all famous people and Robert De Niro and Marlon Brando have some answering to do.
I totally agree with you. I think that's a much more plausible situation for him to be connected to the mob or the mafia. Also, I do love Robert De Niro, and this is unrelated. This is only mafia related, but I love his portrayal of the mafia don in the Shark's Tale, A Shark's Tale.
He did a very good job there. But no, I don't believe that Elvis was an operative for something called the fraternity and was found out.
Who knows? You know, they've got that, you know, one church that shall not be named that does a lot of shady dealings and has a lot of famous people in it.
Yep.
That went way under the radar for many a year.
How old would Elvis be now, though? That's the real question. 111.
Let me hit this here Google-ish.
Because that really, if Elvis is still alive, eventually that rumor is going to be bad because Elvis is going to be 111.
He was born in 1935. So, I mean, my grandma's 90. She was born in 1935. He was born January 8th. She was born January 3rd. So, it's possible. All right, my final question of today is...
Okay.
Which conspiracy theory would you start if you could?
I could start a conspiracy theory.
Teachers are more than just babysitters. That's what I was sorry. Hot take.
That the McDonald's ice cream machines are always broken because of the Illuminati.
Why do the Illuminati care? I need to know now.
Why do they care?
Now, see, the world may never know. But that's why the ice cream machines are always broken. Because of the Illuminati, which Beyonce's a part of. There you go.
The Illuminati
Beyonce's
or
internet.
the Freemasons?
The Illuminati.
I know too many people on the Freemasons. It's not very secretive anymore. They're terrible at keeping you on the DL. They all want to brag about it. That's how I know.
It's always on their license plates. Or on their, like, they always got a sticker.
Like, we can't talk about it, but yes, I am a part of it. Bro, I don't
It's
care.
so true. It's so true.
That's a conspiracy theory that I would start.
I like it.
Okay, interesting.
All right, well, we're going to move on to the rec room, which is what we're going to close out with today.
Welcome to the rec room.
Who wants to rec first this week?
I will, since Julia always goes first. My recommendation for this week is going on theme with our whole cryptid, all that jazz, is the podcast Sightings. So Sightings, let me read to you because it is a really good show. and I want to tell you about them. From Roswell to Amityville to Loch Ness and beyond, step inside the world's most mysterious supernatural events with sightings. Each week unlocks a thrilling story that immerses you in the action, followed by a mind-bending discussion that will leave you questioning what's real and what's impossible. So they chase legendary creatures, investigate lesser-known alien abductions, confront spine-tingling ghosts, and experience the paranormal stories you only thought you knew. So what the podcast is like is there's two guys, don't remember their names because I am terrible with names. And one of them is a voice actor, and he reads a story. And so there's like sound effects, and he's got a lovely, deep man voice. And
Nice.
they, it's like a really good production. And then at the end of the story, the other host comes in, and he's the one that wrote the story. It's either a story that he made up, or it's a story that is true. Like it's a real life story that someone experienced and has like posted somewhere or whatever. And so the narrator, he will try to guess if it's true or if his friend made it up. And then they have a whole discussion, and they're hilarious. And it's just really good storytelling kind of podcast. And it's about all kinds of creepy things. So
That sounds so fun.
That sounds, yeah. What's your favorite episode?
The one that I've listened to the most, because it just lives in my head rent free, is Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp,
Okay.
which used to be Escape Horror Swamp before they changed the But I've listened to that one several times because there's a lot of people involved in that one, and it makes you think about it a little bit. And then the other one is Mel's Hole from 1997. I know that sounds hilarious too, but it's the creepiest thing. It's about a bottomless pit on this guy's property, and a whole bunch of shenanigans ensued.
Oh, sinkholes freak me out. No, thank you.
Freak me out. Yeah. And then you're gone.
Yeah. In the story, the reason why he even finds out there's a hole on this property that he had just bought is because he sees this truck just driving on his land, and he follows him, and it's this guy shoving a refrigerator or a couch or something into this hole. And he's like, what are you doing? And apparently that's their trash dump. They just put trash in it because it's bottomless. They can't hear it hit the bottom. Nothing you don't see it piling up and coming up. They can't figure it out. And so he starts running tests on this hole, and things happen. And I'm not going to spoil everything, but it's a pretty fun listen. So I really do recommend Sightings.
Oh, yeah. Good rec.
Okay. Sounds good. Good rec. So the series I'm going to recommend today is a YA series that's being re-released right now. It was originally released back when Stephanie and I were in our early 20s. We found it in our early 20s anyway. I'm not sure when it was first released, but it's being re-released by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's called the Luck series, and it is about aliens in West Virginia. So talking about the Appalachian Mountains, they talk about that. They talk about why West Virginia is home to all of these different things and these unexplainable things. They talk about that in the book. And it's a 5-book series. The first book is called Obsidian. It's got a 4.13 on Goodreads. I think it deserves it. Now, I will tell you it's YA, and it's because it's from so long ago, it's very standard early 2020 YA contemporary alien fiction that can be read by, I would say, as young as 13-year-olds. It's a very good series. It's called Lux by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I'm sure Stephanie will put a picture of it up on the screen. The new editions the new editions are beautiful, in my opinion. Stephanie prefers the old editions. I prefer the new editions. This is like a co-rec, but that is my rec. Julia, what's yours?
So I'm going to cheat a little bit since it's my hosting day, and I'm going to do two. So you mentioned Keanu Reeves earlier. And so there is a song from the movie Always Be My Maybe on Netflix a few years ago. And there's a band in this movie called Hello Peril. And it's the lead actor, Randall Park, is the lead singer in this band. And they put out the 3 songs in this movie. And one song is called I Punched Keanu Reeves. And like the lyrics are like, best believe I punched Keanu Reeves and it was better than any scene you could see in Speed. I'm telling you for real, I punched Neo. He can duck bullets, but he couldn't duck me. And I'm like, listen, that's great. I love it. So like, I love anything like that. It's so funny. Those 3 songs, like I said, they put out 3 songs in like 2017 and they still have 11,724 monthly listeners on Spotify. So check out Hello Peril. Their 3 songs are I Punched Keanu Reeves, Hello, and Tennis Ball. Bounce back like a basketball. Bounce back like a tennis ball. Anywho, my other more related to the episode rec is the movie What We Do in the Shadows. I haven't seen the series. I've heard it's great too. But the movie What We Do in the Shadows is so good. Tika Waititi. Just hilarious. But I need the lighter side of cryptids and vampires and all the things. And so this is like a comedy horror movie, a spoofy, it's like a spoofy documentary. So it's following roommate vampires. And like one of them's younger, one of them's like thousands of years old, but they have normal roommate problems. They're like, who's going to do the dishes?
There's a whole scene. I'm sorry to bust in on your rec, but there's this whole scene where it's like the vampire gang and the werewolf gang, and they like run into each other. And like one of them says something very flavorful, and they're like, whoa, that's too much. Your language is too much.
Don't swear.
Sorry,
We're werewolves.
not swear.
What are we?
Werewolves, not swear.
It's just hilarious. And like it is rated R, so like proceed with caution if you're younger. They have like a random human friend. What is his name? Steve? Stu. His name is Stu. The random human is Stu.
Yes.
I recommend it.
It's really
and that's
good.
all I have for you.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and connect with us on our social medias at Don't Quit Your Day Job Pod. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you're currently reading, watching, or listening to. Until next time, keep it cozy, keep it fun, and don't quit your day job. Unless you really want to.
Bye everyone.